Hello and welcome back to the Mental.Health.Triathlete channel, Instagram, TikTok, whatever you're viewing this on. So this is going to be my first proper video other than the introduction that I hope you've already seen. But today I'm going to be talking about my first triathlon and triathlon on a budget. So when I did my first triathlon, did a little bit of training, I had no idea what I was doing. I only knew the basics about triathlon, so it was a swim, it was a bike, it was a run, 2 transitions and a finish. That's all you really need to know about triathlons. So I essentially broke it down, like what do I need to swim, what do I need to bike, what do I need to run, essentially. And I went from there. I had no advice from anyone because I'm a stubborn idiot, basically, and I thought, I know best, I'm going to buy stuff, I'm going to do a triathlon, and we'll go from there. So essentially I'm going to talk you through what I bought, what my budget was, and how to do triathlon on a budget. Before recording this video, I've looked at videos from other like YouTube channels about triathlon on a budget, and they were like, oh, we had a budget of £300, £400. Now for normal people who aren't YouTube channels that earn hundreds of thousands of income a year, they have a more realistic budget of say 100, 200, maybe 250 to get into a triathlon. Considering race entry is anywhere between £40 to 100, you've got to take that into account. So I'm going to talk you through all of my gear that's below camera and how much it cost me. So I was going to say something else insightful, but fuck it, let's carry on. Excuse my language. So, triathlon suits. Now I'm a mountain biker. I love baggy clothes. I've usually got some form of cap on. And, well, it's going to be hard to say this, but Lycra. Mountain bikers hate Lycra. Road cyclists, I wouldn't say they love it, but they wear it for aero. So doing a triathlon, unless you're wearing, say, Lycra swimming shorts and you put a t-shirt on, you're going to probably need to look at a tri-suit. This is the one I bought in all its Lycra glory. It's from a brand called Sigma. Never heard of them. Chinese special. And I got it on eBay. It was £35 delivered. And it's a proper tri-suit. Even has storage in the back that I used during my first triathlon. Everything is on show. Everything. And it's even padded to save your special areas. £35. I've done two triathlons in it and I have no complaints. It is what it is. But it was 35 quid. And I did the whole triathlon in that. It was in October 2023. It was actually really warm, so one layer of really thin Lycra. It's all you really needed. Now for the swim, I had some goggles. These were from Decathlon. I believe they were £12. Now they're nothing special. I think they're bargain basement Speedos, like absolute bargain basement Speedo. They were £12. And they were perfect. Nothing bad to say about them. They are what they are. They are, well, they're 12 quid. What can you expect? Now this is sort of an extra, whether you need it or not. I do. Nose clip. I have to use them because if I'm in water and I get any water up my nose, I start to panic. It's a natural response. I have no control over it, and I also get disorientated. So even if I've got goggles on and I can see where I am, I can see which way is up or down, having water in my nose really messes with my balance, my brain, and obviously panic ensues. So I need a nose clip. So I had to buy it. It was £3, again, from Decathlon. You'll see a trend here soon. So there you go, £12, 3 quid. Plus your £35 tri-suit, that's your swim leg, done. Can't say more budget friendly than that, can you? Right, onto the bike. So my bike is in the garage, that'll be the last thing I show you. But when it comes to the bike, you'll see a lot of professional triathletes, they will have a pair of running shoes and a pair of cycling shoes. And they practice like hell to get their transition times down so they can have time to change into 2 different pairs of shoes. I didn't do that. My bike come with little plastic cage things that you saw like the 60s, 70s and 80s road bikes having. And I thought, you know what? Getting out the pool, getting into some running trainers and doing my bike leg in running trainers, which means when I jump off the bike, I'm straight into the run. Decathlon. Kip Run. KS? Yeah, KS 500. Dropping them now. Dropping them again. These were about £30–35. Again, no frills, absolutely perfect for what I needed. I didn't want to spend loads of money and realise I didn't like doing triathlons. So again, £35. You can see they've barely been used. Even though they're my gym trainers now, and I actually use them a hell of a lot, they look fairly brand new. And again, 35 quid, no complaints whatsoever. They're quite comfy. So, what's that? About £100 I've spent so far on doing my first triathlon. Right. What do we need when cycling to protect this? Yes, you need a helmet, or you need to look like a helmet, depending. Anyway, do you want to see this? So this, I hate road bike helmets, they're horrible. This, let me show you. It's a Karnak helmet. Proper road bike helmet. It's not really aero because of the amount of holes, but it's good for keeping you cool. This I got from Planet X online, delivered, £15. Now, it sounds cheap, but it's not necessarily a cheap helmet. It's proper road bike helmet. It's got all the certifications you need. It's got your little pass sticker in there. It was on sale. It was end of line sale. I think it was the last medium in stock because I've got a tiny head. And it was £15 delivered. I think it was £12 plus £3 delivery. Check out Planet X. I'm not affiliated them with any way. I'm not sponsored. They are just a good website with good deals. Granted, you should support your local bike shop. Unfortunately, my local bike shop closed down 3 years ago, so I don't have one. So I have to look online. It's bright yellow, it's Karnak, and absolutely no complaints. For £15, this has been perfect. Like, absolutely properly perfect. What more can you say? It's a budget-friendly triathlon, and for £15, this could save your life. So, yeah. There we are. Check Planet X out, honestly. Now, before I go and show you my bike, let's talk about bags. So you obviously have to store your stuff in a bag because you don't want to carry everything in your arms plus drag your bike along when you go to transition. So you chuck everything in a bag on your back, and you walk into transition, and then you can set up. Pros have proper transition bags with each compartment for everything, but this is a budget-friendly triathlon. So what I actually had is this. So this is a dry bag. I think it's about 15–20 litre or something like that. It's completely rubber. You've got a see-through panel, and you can roll that down and clip it so it stays watertight. Wow. You're only having wet clothes in here, so it's not like you're going to have loads of water in here. No, it doesn't say. I was hoping it would tell me the literage. But this was £10 from Aldi last summer to store a wetsuit when I was surfing. £10, that's all. Absolutely budget friendly. So yeah, £10 on your dry bag, £15 on your helmet, 25 quid, £35 on the tri-suit, so that's 55 quid, plus £15 goggles and nose clip. You can do the math. You can do triathlons on a budget very easily. Now, do you want to see the bike? This was a proper find from Facebook Marketplace. So yeah, there are bargains out there. Anyway, let's have a look. Okay, so here we have, I want to say my tri bike, but it's not. It's just a standard road bike. So this is what I did my first triathlon on. It's nothing fancy. It was a Facebook Marketplace find. It was £100. Carbon forks, aluminium frame. It's a decathlon bike. I said you'd notice a trend. It cost me £100. I travelled 10 mile to get it. What more can you say? Obviously there's some bar tape there. You need to have the bars covered up. But for a budget triathlon, £100 on Facebook Marketplace, can you really say any better? You could probably get them cheaper, but for what I wanted and what I was planning to do, this is more than enough. £100. Absolutely carbon for £100. Anyway, I digress. Ignore the bag. That's an add-on from the last week or so. Bottle and bottle cage, because you can't do a triathlon, even a super sprint triathlon, which is the smallest triathlon you can do, you still need a bottle cage on your bike. £12 for the bottle and the cage all in. And the bike was ready to go. Luckily enough, I have a friend who's a bike mechanic who serviced it for me. If I can find the links to his social media stuff, I will put them in the description below. If not, on Instagram at Next Life Cycles. His name's Phil, and he works as a mechanic, but for fun, he buys bikes, he strips them, he rebuilds them, he services them, and he lets them go back into the wild. He's absolutely brilliant at what he does, and this bike has not let me down since I bought it, since he serviced it. One thing I did do, which is probably outside of the budget of most people, but I did it for safety and for peace of mind, is I put brand new tyres and inner tubes on it. So because I didn't have a bag up top, I wanted to make sure if I did get a puncture that it wasn't going to end my race. So I've got slime inner tubes. Alternatively, you can go tubeless with sealant. I've not got the experience, so I thought slime inner tubes, they're a little bit heavy, but if I was to get a puncture, they should reseal it and I can finish my triathlon. The tyres I got as a pair, I think they were £20 off eBay. And they're Schwalbe tyres. I think they're new old stock. I didn't know the age of the tyres that were on it, so for the sake of £20 and my life essentially, because if the tyre blows or ruptures and I fall off in front of a car, I'm dead. So for the sake of my own well-being, I replaced both tyres, both inner tubes, just to make sure I was safe. Again, you don't have to do that. I did it. It was a safety preference. My wife wanted to see me finish. She wants to see me alive. So I thought, I'm best take care of myself. So yeah, replace I keep saying wheels, the tyres and inner tubes. Yeah, don't have to do it, but I did it. That probably pushes, the tyres and inner tubes probably pushes this video just slightly outside of budget triathlon, probably pushes it past the £250 mark. But if you ignore the inner tubes, I think I got 2 for 25 quid and the tyres that were 20 quid. With the bike as it was, I could have ridden it. It was £100 bike. What's that? A triathlon for £200? Not including entry fees. What more can you ask for? That's proper budget triathlon. That's beginner triathlon, that is. So at the time I did my first triathlon, so it was October 2023. We're currently in June, bloody hell, June 2024. So we're what, 8 months past now. I was playing football once a week. That was it. That was the extent of my training. I did do the odd run, the odd cycle, but I was completely underprepared for my first triathlon. And this thing got me through it brilliantly. All my other kit that was absolutely budget got me through it brilliantly. As we're now in June, sorry, bit of wind. So that was my first triathlon. I've done one, I think it was 2 weeks ago in Cheshire. Not done any videos on that because I did it before I decided to start the channel. I did upgrade a couple of bits, so we're now starting to get outside of budget beginner triathlon, and we're starting to get into the point of still a beginner, but the kit I'm using just needs a little bit of investment. This doesn't, this is perfect, but I'm still looking at new bikes. just, you want the aero bar so you can tuck in. But I can get aero add-ons, that's probably what I'm going to do. So yeah, that was my budget triathlon. I didn't come last. I wasn't even last in my age group. I did it in 1 minute 38. Sorry, 1 minute, that's massive. No, I did it in 1 hour 38. So my swim was 13 minutes. I think it was about 13 and a half minutes. My first transition, so from swim to bike, I think was about 4 minutes 5 seconds. I did the 20k cycle in 39-ish minutes, and then I did the run in about 38 minutes. My transition between biking and running was like 59 seconds. It was because I was wearing my running shoes and I had these pedals. So essentially these. So they're crappy plastic things. They'll come on most standard like shopper bikes. The idea was that I change into my running shoes, put these straight on, so the transition between bike and run is really short. You'll notice I've now got proper cycling pedals on there because I'm going to upgrade to proper cycling shoes. But for your first triathlon, absolutely perfect. What more could you ask for? It's your first triathlon, you don't know what you're doing. As long as everything works, done. But yeah, that's really it on Budget Beginner Triathlon. What more can be said? Get out there, go do it, go run, go enjoy yourself. Most importantly, just exercise, because exercise is so important for your mental health. Granted, this video hasn't been on mental health, it's just been about Budget Beginner Triathlon. But for me, doing the triathlon, as it was something on my bucket list, was something I needed to do for my own mental health. And it has resulted in me taking more care of myself, looking after my diet, losing weight. So it's a big thing. Anyway, thank you for watching the video. I've waffled on quite a lot. I've shown you my budget stuff. And if you have any questions, drop them in the comments, whether that be on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, or on a letter through my door. Either way, I will try and respond to them in the next video or any videos I do. If you want to be horrible and say I'm fat, I already know, so don't bother, don't waste your breath, move on. Anyway, I need to get ready for work. I thought I'd video this in the morning and then I'll edit it throughout the day, or I'll just release it raw, whatever. But anyway, that was my introduction to Budget Beginner Triathlon. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will do some other videos at some point once I realise what I'm doing. Anyway, thank you, and enjoy the rest of your day.